I start today's video at this statue of Scottish football legend Davie Cooper. And as you can see here from this little plaque that's on next to the statue, this statue was erected by South Lanarkshire Council as a tribute to football legend Davie Cooper, 1956 to 1995. He played for Clydebank, Glasgow Rangers, Motherwell FC, 22 international caps, 3 Scottish League Championship medals, 4 Scottish Cup medals, 7 Scottish League Cups. So yeah, Davie Cooper immortalised forever here in Hamilton with this statue. As I just read out from this little plaque here, he started his career and ended it at Clydebank. You'd think a team with such a legend in their ranks would be doing quite well today. Well, if you look in the 4 SPFL leagues and look for Clydebank, you won't see them anywhere. You can see him there. Looks like he's got a Scotland shirt on in this statue. But yeah, before we leave the statue here of Davie Cooper, let me tell you a little bit more about the club that he started for and that kind of no longer exists. Well, he started his career with the club and tragically his life ended while still a player of Clydebank FC. In between spells at Clydebank at the start and end of his career, he won title after title at Rangers and even contributed to Motherwell, winning their first major honour in decades. A generational talent, Davie started his career at Clydebank before going on to play for Rangers. They signed him for £100,000 in 1977, which would have been a lot of money back then. And that was just at the age of 21 years old. So he went for £100,000 to Rangers in 1977 at the age of just 21. He sadly died in 1995 due to a brain hemorrhage. At 39 years old, he was still a player for Clydebank and was due to retire and become first team coach the following season. He now has this statue and a stand named after him at Motherwell FC. This man is a legend, and it shows the stature of the club of Clydebank that they could produce and keep players as good as this man. Please do remember to like this video, it helps more people to see it. This has been a hugely requested video, so hello to everyone who has requested it. I hope you enjoy. As ever, if I do miss anything out, please leave it below in the comments. Basically, Clydebank have had several mergers over the 1800s and early 1900s as well. But eventually they became recognised as the team that we all know today, Clydebank FC. There is still a team currently operating called Clydebank FC though. They were formed in 2003 and currently play in the West of Scotland Football League. I'll be delving into that a little bit later in the video. But to give you context, they're basically a Phoenix club that were born out of the once great Clydebank FC. Much like the Wimbledon / AFC Wimbledon situation down in England, the Clydebank fans can feel a little bit hard done by with what's happened to their club. Out of the ether, a non-league club was born and they're looking to bounce back into the big time that Clydebank were once in. Anyway, it's about time we moved on to one of the places they once called home. And look at that. I've got my Scotland shirt on. I'm filming this today. It is the day that Scotland play Serbia to try and reach their first tournament since, I believe, 1998. So yeah, supporting the Scottish today. This video will probably be out after the game, so good luck to the Scots for today. I am wearing my shirt to support them. So yeah, I'll tell you where I am in just a sec, but let me just have a look around. I'm not really taking you inside of Aldi, but this piece of land does have some significance to the history of Clydebank Football Club. So let me just take a look around here. I am here because I'm looking for life and signs of what used to be here. An old football stadium that was home to Clydebank FC. Yeah, I'm at Kilbowie Retail Park, or Kilbowie, I guess you'd say up here, Kilbowie. But yeah, it used to be a football stadium, but now as you can see, there's an Aldi, there's a bingo hall around there. I'm just looking to see if there's any little nods to what once were. Here is a train going past. Yeah, is there anything to say that this used to be a stadium? I'm not sure, probably not anymore. I'm gonna just keep bowling around, see if there is. But yeah, this used to be their home. It doesn't look much like an old stadium, but I promise you, this is once where Clydebank used to play their home games before it got sold off. And this is where the next part of the story really sums up bad ownership and awful runnings of football clubs, which unfortunately happens a lot. The Steedman family, who owned the club at the time, sold this plot of land, which is where the stadium was, without a relocation plan. The club were forced to ground share with Dumbarton for 2 seasons. Don't think there's a lot around here that I can see. No, just buildings now to do with the retail park. But yeah, let me carry on. So yeah, they were forced to ground share with Dumbarton for a couple of years. Another businessman named John Hall bought the club and promised to give them a brighter future than the present that they had at the time. His ultimate goal was to relocate the club, not just down the road, not to another town, but to a new country completely. He wanted to relocate Clydebank to Dublin in Ireland. This sparked protests from the supporters, and FIFA even blocked the notion. They were doomed at this stage, and that awful owner lost interest in the club, and then they went into administration in the 90s, without a home that was once here. They then played their remaining years before they went out of business completely at Greenock Morton's Capello Park. And on one of my recent YouTube videos, Ross Parker made this comment. When Clydebank ground shared with Morton, their fans boycotted a League Cup match in protest over their proposed move to Dublin. They all watched the game that they were playing at Morton at the time from a hill, which I was at in one of my videos. And only 29 East Stirlingshire fans were in the ground. That was for a League Cup match between Clydebank and East Stirlingshire. That set a new record low attendance for a Scottish game. So 29 people, 29 East Stirlingshire fans, and then no Clydebank fans, as they were there to protest what was obviously an awful decision by the owner to try and relocate them country. They were eventually gobbled up by Airdrieonians, who were Airdrie United for a while, and the fans of Clydebank FC were left without a club for a while. That is until the 2003-2004 season. So I am now at Glenhead Park. When Clydebank moved here, they were essentially now a Phoenix club that was formed out of what once was. Airdrie agreed to give up the name and badge to a supporters group who wanted to reform Clydebank as a club. And here we are now, coming up to what is a very well painted stadium. Look at this. Ground, could you call it a stadium? I'm not too sure, it's very small. Look at that, the red and the black. So yeah, they were harshly done by for years, and it was a positive twist, I suppose, that Airdrie allowed them to have their name and their badge back. Something that really shouldn't be taken away from a club, in my opinion, in the first place, but at least they got it back. And yeah, look, this is Glenhead Park, and as you can see from that, it's home to Drumchapel Amateurs. So a small team here, a small community team, as you can really tell by the stadium. It is a small place, but yeah, you know, it's a pitch and it's a ground at which they had to rebuild from. This is just outside of Clydebank, and although obviously Capello might have better facilities, at least at this ground they're a little bit closer to home. So yeah, they used this ground for about 4 or 5 years, the new Phoenix club, and look at that. Just one stand, of which there is no seating whatsoever, so quite a far cry from what they once were. And as you can kind of see from this ground, and I mean no offence here to the team of Drumchapel Amateurs, it isn't really the kind of place that a team with the stature that Clydebank once had should really have been playing at, with players that they had like Davie Cooper and, you know, the great games that they would have had and the high level that they played at. A few decades on from that, to be playing here in what was basically a completely new club, it's a shame. It is a shame for them, but yeah, fair play to Drumchapel for letting them use the stadium, I suppose. And yeah, once they had been here for 5 years, they moved on to a place that would become a little bit more permanent. And so around 2008, Clydebank left Glenhead Park, where we just were, for Home Park, where we just are now, where they would ground share with Yoker Athletic. And you can see that in here, look, the Yoker badge plus the Clydebank badge. And look at that, there's the pitch as they try to rebuild themselves as a club. It's a shame that there's this kind of scaffoldy stuff around, because it'd be nice to take a picture of the Clydebank badge with the Yoker badge next to it, but not a lot that can be done, I suppose. But look there, you can see the synergy between the two teams, Clydebank and their colours, Yoker and theirs with the two players, as they both ground share here now. And look at that, whoa, there's a plane coming down. So yeah, they've been here ever since 2008, home park. And look, Clydebank and Yoker, and they've been here for a while now, and I've seen vast improvements made to the ground. But firstly, listen to how well this club is supported. Basically, during the 2008-2009 season, Clydebank Football Club got to the Junior Cup final. They eventually lost the final, unfortunately, to Auchinleck Talbot, who are obviously one of the best junior teams in Scotland. But they had a crowd at that game of over 8,000 people, of which 3,700 were Clydebank fans. So technically, obviously, this Clydebank team is a new club, but really, I mean, they still share the same fans, name, badge, colours, ethos of the Clydebank of old. So yeah, that final at Rugby Park just kind of sums up how well supported they are, and what a big team they are, and what a shame it is that they're kind of now down in this level. Whilst this place was being renovated though, they did spend a season down at Lockburn Park, the home to non-league side Maryhill FC. And in June 2020, Clydebank FC, along with other clubs at this level, moved to the newly formed West of Scotland Football League. They are currently playing this season, of course, without fans, along with teams such as Largs, Thistle, Beath Rovers and Kirkintilloch Rob Roy. And so yeah, here I am now outside the stadium, of which Clydebank FC can call home. I wonder if they can rebuild themselves back to where they were in the past. Who knows? Please leave a like on this video and subscribe if you aren't already. I'll leave some videos on screen so you can keep watching my content. You can also subscribe just down below here somewhere. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.